Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the featherweight bout between Alex Caceres versus Daniel Pineda. And how I feel about this one is I'm going low confidence Alex Caceres to beat Daniel Pineda. I just feel like this is like a Michael Johnson fight. And at one point they were rivals on the Ultimate Fighter, Caceres and Michael Johnson and whatnot. And Michael Johnson made it to the finale. And, he did, I guess, achieve higher heights, but I felt Caceres had low-key, he had a better win-loss ratio and obviously hasn't taken as many brutal losses as Michael Johnson. But anyway, yeah, Caceres is a hot and cold type fighter, and I feel like this is definitely a style where he could lose. Pineda has grappled with bigger fighters like Grant Dawson went to a draw with him in grappling, and I think some other guy that was pretty decent and a little bit bigger. He went to a draw with him, I think. Caceres never been the strongest guy. He's been a guy you could bully, physically bully, and grapple bully. Even though he has at first was seeming primarily more so like a funky striker, but as far as skill wise, it's mostly in his grappling, which is kind of weird, but hey, it happens. So I feel yeah, low confidence Caceres. I feel Pineda could definitely go out there and manhandle Caceres and then tap him out or some type of thing like that. So I could easily see that happening. Manhandle, first round sub, second round sub or something for Pineda. So that's where the low confidence come from. It's not like he has adjusted like, I went in there with this, like, look at the people he beat, he'd be like two below UFC level guys. I can't even remember the name right now. And he beat two of those guys, and it like they're not really grapplers. Matter of fact, he beat like three of those dudes. He feel like I'm not even looking up. I feel like two guys literally look like the same exact dude. He for another dude who looked like he related to them, and Chase Hooper. Like, look at the wins he's beating. Like, it don't really point to like, oh, I've really beat a solid grappler. He fought like a guy in Chase Hooper at the time who hadn't even got chest on his hair, hadn't even hit puberty yet, and still someone had a competitive fight, even though he was clearly ahead. It was like still way more competitive than it should be. Like a grown man who's been in UFC for like 10 years versus a like what's called Atomic Bomb versus Coughing Baby. That's like that's what it was, and still was somewhat competitive. Like, yeah, you should have went out there and tapped Cooper out. Should have been worried about nothing Cooper was bringing. Like, you've been doing BJJ and stuff longer than he's been alive. I'm exaggerating, but still, like, it's basically the equivalent. Coughing Baby versus Atomic Bomb. You should have like been able to win that fight more clear than it was, and for the stamp on it. But nah, it didn't happen. Still clear you won, but I don't trust everybody. Not super impressed with Caceres' wins are. I don't really pinpoint. Like, he was on a good winning streak, and then when he just coming off now, he like the guy just got knocked out in his last fight. Julian Rosa just got knocked out by some newcomer in his last fight who didn't even really like no heavy-handed fighter based off his record and his fights up until that point. So your good win now don't even look that good now. Like, he was coming off a good performance when he came in to fight you. Then you beat him. Now somebody gonna beat. But I guess like it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. That's all I can say. It is what it is. But yeah, Pineda, I feel underrated striking, definitely heavy kicks. Physically, I feel like he could definitely look to physically bully Caceres, but I'm trusting Caceres' low confidence to be able to mix it up, be creative out there, try to be long, mix his kicks in there, and maybe try to make this more of a striking matchup than a graph match, or at least early on. Keep your distance. Don't allow him to get a hold of you and to slam you to the ground and try to bully you and drop big ground and pound on you, try to punch you in the mouth and stuff and just bust you up and bully you. Don't let him bully you, son. Don't let him bully you, son. Use that distance, use those long limbs, be dynamic, double punch him in the chest and in the jaw, spinning back kicks, stepping side kicks, jumping switch kicks, go Aljo, just throw anything out there and just like make yourself look weird and confusing so your opponent don't know what you're doing. At least do one round. Let him slow down a little bit. You're a younger fighter. You're in your prime. Pineda getting up there in age. Use that speed. Use that cardio. Like, show your best out there. And then maybe in the later rounds, like, or the second round when he starts, he's a little bit worn down. He's a little bit fatigued and stuff. Then start to maybe try to grapple him a little bit or be more open to the grappling. Or if he tries attempt a takedown, maybe snap on the guillotine and start to scramble or whatnot, and then secure the top position and then start to play that game. But I think early on, I think he gonna have to maintain his distance, be dynamic, and look to wear down Pineda from distance. So I'm trusting Caceres to be able to do that. Again, low confidence. He hasn't had a track record to really say, oh, he's truly made such adjustment, because this is the same dude who lost to Kron Gracie not too long ago. And Kron Gracie is literally a one-dimensional fighter. Obviously a super high-level talented BJJ player, but so undeveloped as far as the mixed martial arts. And Caceres allowed a guy like that is to throw him on the ground and sub him, man. Who else he allowed him? I remember Mac back way back in the day with Mac and Simonizer. That dude was bullying him. And I know who else bullied him. Who else bullied him? What's his name? What's that dude who did BKB? I forget his name right now. Also has a win over Dan Hooker. What's his name? I'm forgetting his name right now. By the way, if you know, you connect the knots. That dude was okay grappler, and he just took Caceres down like nothing and tapped him. So that's definitely a concern that he could just go out there and get manhandled and tapped out. But I'm trusting him enough, I guess, low confident enough to be able to stand him out beyond the first round and just be able to set a pace on him, and then be able to expand the success to his full mixed martial arts game that he has in his striking. And I'm gonna say decision in Alex Caceres. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say sub. I'm gonna go crazy sub, and maybe for a bet wise, just do general sub because maybe Caceres gets sub, maybe Pineda gets sub, but just general sub probably is a bet. But as far as prediction wise, I'm gonna say Caceres sub. I'm gonna say like a third round sub. Scrappy first round, but Caceres landing more, working more. Second round, again another scrappy close round, but Caceres doing a little bit more. But hey, probably close round. Probably gonna say one apiece. And then really going to the wire. Both guys trying to battle for position, scrapping through the end. But then Caceres, like I said, maybe it hurt him with something wild, some jumping switch kick, rocks him, and then takes his back, chokes him out third round. But and after a back and forth, crazy close fight, and subs him. So in this one, I have Alex Caceres via third round submission.